Today I'm going to be profiling my Geargia gadgets. So there's some Machinas in it, so I guess you could call it Machina Geargia gadgets. But the deck's really popular right now, and I've had it for a while, so I decided to make a profile on it. So comment, rate, subscribe, and hope you enjoy the video. What's up? We have 2 yellow gadgets, 2 red gadgets, 2 green gadgets. It's one of the engines of the deck. Helps the deck run, keeps a lot of cards in your hand, and it's an excuse to run a lot more back row. So you can run a lot more back row with gadgets, and that's one of the basic principles of the deck. I have my Machina engine, which is the same as OCG. A lot of people in OCG prefer this, and I prefer this too because I just don't like having a lot of gear frames in my hand, because normal summons in this deck are really valuable, so I don't want to really summon a gear frame, get a fortress, when I could just have a dead gadget in my hand. So running 1 gear frame and 2 fortresses is good. You could always recycle them. For my Geargia engine, I run 2 Geargia Arsenal because this card is really only good for getting your Geargia armor out, and yeah, and like, what's the use of that, It's only good for Geargia armor, so let's keep it that way. 3 Geargia armor because this card's broken, they attack into it. You add a Geargia XL to your hands. The next turn you flip it face down, and then you flip it face up again, and you add another one to your hand. Just make your Shockmaster real quick. Lock them down. It's pretty good. And with the gadget engine, it's really a lot more easier to make X and search for your needed cards, like the gear frame. 3XL because straight up special summons from the hand. Cause you're spamming your exceeds and all that, and it's just a really good engine to have in the deck. 1 Wiesel to search out with X. He's pretty much a tech card, but he's a 1-star 25 beater. That's like a Shien, so that's excuse enough because you could trench roll yourself and you could just drop him, and that really screws people over. And this card is just really underrated and really good. For the spells, I have 2 Duality because the deck's not that fast. With gadgets, you could just summon and just set back row and you'll be fine. I have a Reborn, a Limiter, Pot of Avarice, and this. I chose not to run Dark Hole, even though gadgets have a hard time running over huge beaters. I just let the back row take care of the big beaters, and I don't think the deck really needs it. I might cut some traps out for Lance, but Dark Hole right now it's not really a factor because I always have field presence anyway. I only run 1 MST. I side the other 2 because I feel like the deck doesn't really care about back row. There's not that much need to hate on back row if you could just keep normal summoning monsters. For traps, you have 1 Road, 1 Compulse, 1 Ultimate Offering. Ultimate Offering is a win condition, so it's a win condition. Compulse is good with gadgets, Geargias, and it's just a really good card in general, but I only could fit room for 1. Then I have Starlight Road for back row protection, and yeah. Then I have 2 Trenchals, 2 Mirror Force, 2 Bottomless. I decided to run Mirror Force over Deep Prisons because I don't know. I like Mirror Force a lot more. It could be a lot more useful, and it would get you a lot more cards than Deep Prison would sometimes. Granted, decks like Chaos Dragons aren't that popular anymore, so this is actually really underrated and really good right now. And 2 Bottomless, staples. Then I run the Solemn Trio, because you need to get rid of monsters sometimes, and they're good. And then my tech cards, I have 3 Reckless Greeds, and a lot of people, what the fuck when they see this, but it's a really good card for the deck because with your Geargia Cross, you can just search for every monster in your deck, so you're constantly deck cleaning by searching for gadgets, by searching for fortress, by searching for everything, and the only thing you really need to draw into is back row, because you could always pitch cards, and this gives you your push. By drawing 2 machines, you could discard them for your fortress, and this is a really good card. I might take 2 out for Lance and a D prison, but so far it's working out pretty good. For the extra deck, I'm missing 2 X's. I don't have my X's yet, and a Shockmaster, but so far it's 1 Shockmaster, Utopia, 2 Utopia, Utopia Ray, 1 Butterfly. This card, it's alright. I mean, it doesn't really come useful that much, but it's still a good card. Zen Maester to flip your Geargia armor back face down. 1 Shark Drake for the fun of it. It's just a really funny card when you get it off, and it does a buttload of damage. Vylon to Sigma, because it's always good to just take control of your monster, and it's always good to have a catastrophe on the field. And Stardust, because for Starlight Road. Oh, and Fairy King, he's pretty good. He lets you get over your gadgets. He lets your gadgets get over people. For the side deck, I have 2 Lightning Piercing Mirrors for agents, because agents are a problem for this deck. And Chaos Dragons too. Light Thorns, anything light, just, get rid of it. It's not good. 3 Shadow Imprising Mirrors, because this deck can really abuse this card, since there's room for it. I mean, you could run Shadow and Light Imprising Mirror, which is a good half of the decks in Yu-Gi-Oh! 2 Gozen Match and 2 Rivalry, because this deck can abuse it. They're all the same type, same attribute. This kills windups and everything. And Needle Sealing, because Needle Sealing is a really underrated card. You set your Yu-Gi armor, they spam all these monsters, and you just Needle Sealing them, and they're like, what the hell? And I might consider putting in some Maxis, because that's the staple of the format. So that's the Geargia deck. Thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, and stay tuned for more deck list and videos.